What's going on, everybody? Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Wednesday, October 22nd. Hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to take a look at the chart. We could be seeing 113 next. I mentioned that in yesterday's video. But you might be wondering, well, what's the thumbnail about this Tilray interview? So, did do the interview today. It went extremely well. Had a blast, but there was a bit of a situation. So he was late. He wasn't. He didn't have as much time as he was originally planning, and we didn't have that much time to begin with, so it was cut short. And then, like I said, we were in a bit of a situation. We were met with some technical difficulties, but I was able to make it work. It didn't turn out too bad, and yeah, I wasn't in my regular rhythm, I guess you would say, but I still think it went very, very well. And we'll just make it that much better the next time, and we'll get to ask more questions in the future. Definitely want to have him back on, so that should be posted, I would say, later this evening or tomorrow. And yeah, I think you're really going to enjoy it. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified when I upload that video and any video after that. And you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Speaking of X, TLRY investor posted, this is what Tillray should be working on. So I think it's pretty clever. Obviously, it's a great spin on it. T with a twist. But I don't know. I'm not sure how that would fly with, like, Health Canada or the legal standpoint, legalities. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I could just imagine there'd be some sort of issue. Maybe not in the U.S., which is weird because it's still on Schedule 1. But anyways, I digress from there. I think I put a comment. I think I was in this one, yeah. Also, bigger size blunties. So maybe like a zero point 0.8 or a 0.7 of a gram so that they burn a bit better in the colder temperatures, and also great for sharing. And yeah, I got a lot of great ideas for them, to be honest. So I should just tell them, do you want me to send you over like a whole list of my ideas? Because I don't know if I should just be giving it away for free, though. What do you think? But we'll take a look at the price chart here. Like I said, I'm really excited to get it uploaded. And like I didn't get a chance to ask as many questions as I would have liked to. Like I said, it just 30 minutes, and it was even tighter than that. And then we had some technical difficulties, like I said. So I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything like that. I just want to let you know ahead of time that it is a little bit, it's not as good quality as the first one, but I'll do my best to make the quality even better in the future. But it was great. Can't wait to, I didn't talk about, I guess I could give you a little bit of information. I didn't talk about rescheduling too much because it's usually the same. I'll just kind of preface it, right? It's usually the same kind of answers, and we're not dependent on it. We've got real businesses now, kind of thing. So I don't want to keep asking the same questions like, what do you think now? What do you think now? I did kind of allude to it a little bit, but I didn't want to make that, like a 30 or 45 minute me asking, or 45 seconds, sorry, me asking a question and wasting that time, right? So, I didn't ask on the excise tax either because, again, it's always the same answer, and it's not just, I think it's the right answer, right? We're not, why are we going to sit here and dwell on it? Why are we going to sit here and focus on it when we have no control over it? So yeah, we can lobby, we can, post and make our voices heard, that kind of thing. Vote people in who want to make that change, but people need to also want to make that change, and it's not that easy, right? It's not going to happen overnight. So I think we want to try to stay away from some of those things and focus on, like I said, we don't have a whole lot of time, and it's a privilege to have them on, and I want to ask the questions that aren't necessarily covered on all the other media outlets like Fox and BNN, etc. But yeah, when we see them on those, it's always the same thing, and I doubt that the answer would change that much, right? So taking a look at the price chart. I mentioned this yesterday. Again, I wish I had better news. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We were looking at a head and shoulders, and then we had a bear flag as well. Daily downtrend confirmed. We were looking at 135 as the target. We hit 140 today. And then the head and shoulders target's down at 113. And then we have price action support there at 114 as well. And then after that, it's $1 psychological. So those are the three major support levels coming. We're coming on the first one. If this doesn't hold, we'll be looking at 114 and then $1 psychological after that. So getting close to daily oversold. I wouldn't be too surprised if a bottom was closer than many thought. But we could see this EMA 12 and 26 bear cross again, leading to more bearish momentum, and here, at least here in the short term, over the next, I would say, at least 3 to 5 days. So if we can get that out of the way, I think that'll actually be a good thing, because we'll still be printing these higher lows on these higher time frames, right? On the daily time frame, we're in a downtrend, yes, but if you look at the weekly time frame, it's just a nice weekly higher low and higher high. Weekly higher low forming now. We haven't even touched EMA 26 yet. Sorry, EMA 12, which is that yellow line there, and that's at 127. So that might even be a nice area to target for a nice weekly higher low and bottom here going into the end of the year. But if we take a look at the weekly time frame as well, we have 136 there in the 10-week moving average, and we're seeing some pretty bearish follow through here on the stochastic. So I mentioned that quite a while ago. I think it was maybe a week or two ago at this point, that we're starting to see that cross bearish, and that was a clue that we could see some downside, and factoring that into these targets that I had, right? That's what's called confluence, when you have multiple signals, patterns, indicators all saying the same thing. Well, that's why I like following like 8 to 10 indicators and patterns, and like the main ones, and then I just look at those. When I look at these charts, I look for those 8 or 10 patterns. If I categorize it yes or no, it's that pattern or it's not that pattern, and 8 out of 10 are saying yes, it's that pattern, well, I'm going to be bullish. And if it's a bearish pattern, and all of my tools that I have in my tool belt are telling me it's bearish, well, I'm not going to be bullish just because I want to be bullish or because I want it to go up, right? I'm just going to use data, logic, and reason. But we also have the 100 weekly moving average there at 138. We're testing it now. So this could be very, very strong support here. We also have the 50-day, like I said, at 137. So it's going to get interesting. I think we could go as low as 135, 130. And then, like I said, maybe even back test EMA 12, which is sitting at 127, so basically 130. But again, weekly time frame, we're looking beautiful. The next weekly support sitting there at 103, which is the psychological support as well that I mentioned earlier. All right, can't wait to post the interview. I think you're really going to enjoy it, and like I said, it won't be the last. It's not the first, and it won't be the last. So if there's anything that we didn't ask, we'll table it. I highlighted all the ones I asked this time, and we'll save the other ones for another time, and I'll make sure that in terms of the technical, I mean, it might not have even been something I could have fixed, to be honest. It might have been the provider for the streaming. Could have been some of this AWS nonsense. Who knows? All right. Have a great night. It's Rod with the POW Group, and make sure to have that notification bell turned on, and you'll be notified as soon as I post the interview. Like I said, that's either going to be tonight or tomorrow. And I must say, I sent them the questions ahead of time. I'll be fully transparent, but they didn't have anything to say or didn't tell me not to talk about anything. So I just wanted to mention that. I thought that was pretty awesome. All right. Catch you on the next one.